stream. Live chat. Right, I haven't got anything planned or anything at all. There's a few of us in here though. I've got that video sort of nearly done. How's it going? Are we on? No viewers, it says.
You are on, and it's fine, and that's lying because I'm on there.
Okay, okay. And the sound's coming through good?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Jolly good. I've got me the mean guy in on call for the thumbnail.
You have to put up with a scratchy mic, Emma.
Oh, Kev's active on the horizontal front. I didn't know where to go with this logic tonight.
Just keep going where we're going. It's a good little conversation.
Well, yeah, the videos I'm making now are going to be these short videos are based around this logic, trying to get this logic out into short videos that we can put out, because we know that people get triggered by it, and we just put the facts out there within the logic, and the logic can do itself. So the one I've been doing at the minute is the if the Earth is a spherical object, because I think it works really good. Because they all love it, don't they? I mean, I bet even Kev likes it. He's pretending to be a glober, a high-class glober.
Mm.
So when you say, if the Earth is a spherical object, like they don't hear the if, do they?
Not normally.
I think it's good. They don't hear the if, and then that then stops them from understanding that it's a logical statement. If the Earth is a spherical object, then surface of liquid water must curve. Because you don't hear the if, lots of people, they just say, well, it does, doesn't it? It's just saying, thank you very much. You are saying that the surface of liquid water must curve. I mean, it must. Has to. Which I think is the reason why people don't understand what a water level is.
And the principles of the water level.
And it like nobody even knew about it. It's like, what is a water level? Most people don't even understand what a water level is now.
Yeah, but for them to understand that, they've got to accept the horizontal plane.
Mm-hmm. And understand what a horizontal plane is and all of that. It's a long trip into geometry.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not just a trip into geometry. It's a trip into logical reasoning, I think. Because I can't really justify a horizontal being a curve. And so...
Well, horizontal is a straight line that lies within a horizontal...
is DP loud enough for you guys there?
I'm busy, man.
Just look at this. Extend the microphone.
I can't hear
DP. Are you guys alright? Can you hear DP?
Yeah. Just don't start mumbling, DP, okay?
Sorry?
Look at this.
Yeah. Like that.
What?
See, somebody tell Kev, is he not know
Oh,
about
no,
Sean
look.
G and the no hump?
There is no fecking hump, Kev.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sean G, let me get out.
Yeah. Did you not hear Sean, Kev?
Can't remember where I put it.
That's supposed to be a circle.
Well, I think that's the standard of the globe trolls. Like, that's near enough.
What did he draw it on? A piece of material?
A bit of toilet
enough,
paper,
like.
I think, by the looks of it. You know how toilet paper scrunches up as you put the pen.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Oh, Kev is trying to do the twin boat
I
paradox.
always
Yeah, yeah.
like the
How
idea.
sweet,
Put a
Kev.
hump there, though, hasn't he?
This
He's
is
getting better.
this is Kev's answer to the water level on a straight line horizontal.
Oh, I see.
So-
Yeah, I was having a chat with him before. Yeah, I guess it could be that as well. Yeah, but don't they look like two pretty little boats? I don't know.
Well, it's logic night, right? So tie it to logic.
What's he written? Is that direct? Oh, direction of looking.
Yeah, because he wrote in the chat before. When the two boats look at each other, it's a hump,
Yeah.
right? But he says from a different perspective, it's not a hump.
Yeah, that's what they have to say. I mean, there's nothing new here, right?
Nothing new
Well,
under the sun.
There is no hump. In fact, there is no
Feckin'
effing hump.
Shout out Sean G. Masterpiece.
As we all know,
Hump down,
there is
drop to go.
definitely no effing hump.
That was a masterpiece, Sean.
I wonder if the council has talked about it yet, where they answer. I wonder if
He has disappeared, hasn't he?
No, he's over in Jose's or on Gems. Emma was saying.
Wasn't it declared a hump-free zone?
Yeah. Yeah, you're always on the top, Kev.
Yeah, I mean,
So
look
that
at
gives you a problem whenever there's two boats. That's the paradox. It's now
Look at-
set in.
look at the standoff that Sean had with Gummy Bear over it. That was just like, what? You're doing this here?
You're best off
Yeah.
not to go there, Kev, to be honest. I mean, it's a bit of a hard one for any globe earther to take a grip on. The double drop hump, the twin boat paradox, there's skateboard paradox. It's endless. How you can get 3 coplanar points to bam radius of the Earth.
What's the other one? The triangle. What's the other one? With the water. We mustn't forget that one.
Baller's Canal. Yeah, well, yeah.
The Baller's Canal. Yeah, one of my favorites.
Coming
Well,
shortly.
yeah, but it's not a triangle. We're re-releasing it. Any shape canal you want.
Yep.
Any shape.
That could be anything. Yeah, yeah.
anything, yeah. As many sides as you want.
You could even have a circular one.
Shout out
Call it a
Buster.
moat.
That
Yeah.
was direct from Buster. Nice one, Buster. Good call. So
It's not.
So,
hard in
Kev,
theory.
since you're here, why don't you tell us?
He's at work or something. I think. I don't think he can open his mic at the minute. You don't want to pressure him.
he said hello. He's had a bit. He's had a bit of a chat.
Oh, you
It's
said
not-
hello. Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice to have you with us again, Kev.
On the 4th Logic Night
Fourth, yeah.
over here
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. Thumbnail coming soon, folks. I keep forgetting what I'm doing.
I don't know how to sort it now. I might have to do that afterwards.
Right.
I
need to save that.
So yeah, I was thinking I'm going to make these short videos, and one of them is nearly done. In fact, there is one. I think I have done one. I don't know whether we can. Give me a few minutes, all right.
Yeah, Kev is gonna join us in a few minutes. Nice.
Cool.
Cool, Kev.
I can't remember what I called that video yesterday.
Invite. There we go. And I want to
Put it on me.
copy link.
Right, so the one logic that came from that is now going to be coming out as a video. I think I will be doing some more. I would like to be able to do horizontal logic, and I don't know how I'd do that. I was thinking of all of these other logic, like the best arguments that we've got. If we can put them into short sayings, then I can get them and make them into videos. I will take all of these things and put them into a video as soon as possible. Possibly with the Buster soundtrack and whatnot.
Yeah, Buster's got a little surprise coming up with some guitar work. So that's
New song.
good.
So, yeah, if the Earth is a spherical object, logic coming out soon as a short and a slightly longer, and hopefully some sort of a GIF that we should be able to do. We have just recently launched the what are we calling it? The water level Plumb. The
Oh, no. So no. Any ideas,
is
guys?
it the horizontal?
Is it?
It's the shared straight line segment logo.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it is a logo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what we are using to kind of visualize what can't be visualized because it's conceptual. You know, the idea of having
There you go.
having a horizontal line and a vertical line intersecting geometrically it's not a tangible thing, but this animation and the one that Mobius has put together, it kind of visualizes that hypothetical geometric reality, you know.
Yeah, I'm impressed. It took us
It's taken us
from
about
conceptualization to
a week to get that.
5 painstaking days.
Yeah. Yeah, and like B-Ball was asking me what I've done at my computer for yesterday and today, and yeah, it's taken a couple of days to get it together.
It's great, man. I tell you what, you know what I'm saying? You don't see much of that around. So for you to come up with that, put it together, for y'all to put it together, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we just need it putting out there now. You know, anywhere you can think of putting it, Twitter. You know, people will get curious.
come in for a chat.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we want to do. We want to sell this server next level. Call it a sanctuary if you want.
Yeah.
You know, where you can just come and have a normal chat.
Yeah. Because none of the rubbish will be put up with.
Yeah.
None of it. We don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need anything.
Dev is already curious. What is it though?
What's the idea?
What is it? What is it, Kev?
You're gonna have to come in and find out.
Yeah, as soon as he wants to come in and that's basically that's the ethos, isn't it, of what we started with? It's like, how do you prove a straight line?
Yep. Then how do you put a geometric visualization to the method of proving that straight line?
Yeah. How do you visualize it so other people can do it? I mean, the actual proof is always going to be a personal thing, but you, first off, I think you need to have the logical statement,
which
which
come up with.
We have to develop. Then from that, you have to be able to visualize it and hand it to somebody else, because it's your proof.
Getting distracted from doing this, Bev.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, so any ideas of what to call it?
Yeah. Anyone?
Throw your idea in a hat.
The idea is that it's a shared straight line segment piece of a horizontal with a water level, but at the centre there is a perpendicular. It's a plumb bob. As you expand the water level outwards, you show a shared straight line segment, which unfortunately for a group of people shows that the plumb bobs seem to be parallel, as they're being all perpendiculars to a plane, and if you have a horizontal plane established by the water level, then all perpendiculars to it will be parallel. As we know, perpendicular to a horizontal is a vertical. Verticals are established by a plumb bob. There's a priori or whatever. Horizontal and vertical are perpendicular. Yada yada yada. You know, same old, same old. As I was always led to believe, I mean, one of the strangest things that you find when you come round these parts is that somebody tells you that there are no parallel verticals, and that doesn't sound logical to me.
Yeah, it is sad it's gotten this far where we've had to like visually represent this to people for them to actually understand what's going on. Because there's a lot of ways you can do this. You can just take a ruler, you know, a very long ruler. It's just like, okay, is this ruler going to bend? You know, it's like, no, obviously it's not if you can put it straight. But the water level is there for a better understanding.
Well, that's the beauty of this logic, is that, as Sugar Cookie in the actual video rightly says, it once you put the logic up there and you say, if the Earth is a spherical object, P, then the surface of liquid water must curve, Q. Well, you say a water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference, therefore not Q, therefore not P. Well, once you say that, then it's up for contention. If you say that if the Earth is a spherical object, I mean, that's the one that is taken for granted, but then the surface of water must curve, right? Well, that's what you're proving. You're saying modus tollens, not Q. You're denying the consequent. So I don't want to make it too difficult, but I mean, it would be easy for the ballers to prove it. I mean, if it's true that the surface of liquid water curves, then just show it. I mean, that's all there is to do, because we can show that a water level does indeed establish a horizontal. We've got that. Well, me and Spot On have. But when we do it again, more people can as well. I mean,
yeah, I'll be there. I missed it the last time, so definitely there for the next one.
simple as that.
With my 400 metres as well.
Yeah, another one. We'll just go a bit further.
Bam! Where's your curve of the Earth?
An
As
expansion.
you go near the bridge.
I think we have to
Thank
deal
you
with
for
an
the first
expansion
one.
tank Spot On it. But I don't
Alright.
know how that would work over the distance.
What was you saying, Spot On?
Follow Bagsy the 400 metres closest to the bridge.
Oh, so you don't have to walk so far.
Well, this will be a new one, won't it, over at Emma's?
Ah,
New position, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Walking
Top
backwards.
secret,
You know
yeah.
you're going to be walking backwards and forwards anyway, Spot on. You're the one that's done it.
Bring a bike. Rumpus was going to get bikes.
I'll bring my scooter. That's what I'm going to bring.
Yeah.
A scooter.
Yeah. I'm designing a backpack for my hose reel.
We'll have to you do a GoFundMe for a little quad bike for Emma.
You know what would be
Just
better?
tie
A
that
little
big
boat.
roll to the back of me on a pole and I just ride off with my scooter, mate. I'll be sorted.
Yeah, so I mean, this is our 4th Logic night. There's not many people watching now.
Me. Thumbnail coming shortly.
I don't know how to change it at the minute. The 4th Logic night, we'll be doing it. I think we should be doing this regular. And we'll be going over more arguments, obviously. I'm going to do the horizontal logic, but I think that's a little bit more Euclid based for the horizontal, which is actual proofs. They're a bit more solid, the proofs for the horizontal logic, and relating that to reality. But I mean, that's what we're about here now. It's like with
I'm trying to work out whether or not Tuesday was a logical decision.
well, it might not be a good day. We might have to do it different days. I did say that
Yeah.
we'd be could easily change days or whatever for this,
Yeah.
and we're not locked in by anybody at the minute. I don't think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a bit of a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, up for
Oh, one
suggestions, but I was thinking we could do some a Euclid as well at some point. But I guess that's tying all the logic in together. But it's a bit deeper. It depends whether people want to go into the logic that deep or not. But mainly the idea is to keep it simple, that we can try and get inquisitive minds involved in at the base level. We don't want to be going too far. Mobius. Nice that, Mobius.
That is great. That is such a fantastic animation.
You know what I heard yesterday, and I figure this is a good time to talk about it.
Go on.
Somebody asked, who invented logic?
Mr. Logic.
It's always been there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a
exactly.
different name,
How
right?
could it not have been there?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty deep question when you really think about that one.
Uh-huh.
It's just always existed. It's what
Yeah.
it's been known as
Yeah,
that may have changed.
yeah.
That's what I think, Emma. I think we all think that here, but it's funny when I heard somebody ask it.
Yeah, well, that's one of the questions we had to ask ourselves, like quite a bit ago. Very good question, actually.
Yeah, because some people think that it was invented, like somebody wrote, because Euclid wrote it down, they think that he invented it, right? Or whoever wrote it down first, right? I'm not saying it was him, whatever.
Yeah, I think the maths, right? They think if you make a formula, then you've invented that part of it. Well, it was always there, and I don't think you ever invent it. And I truly believe that Logos is the beginning.
Yep. The word, it even means, like, it means the word. you know, there's connotations from the Bible there, of course. But it also means your word, to give your word.
Yeah. It's right and true. All of the you know, there's loads of words, isn't there? All linked around the same sort of thing.
Well, before I forget, I was thinking, example, like, was logos there or somebody invented it? Like Fibonacci sequence, right? Named after Fibonacci, right? So everybody thinks he invented it, right? But if you take a shell, right, and you cut it in half and you look at it, right?
Yeah.
What's there?
Spirals and arches and
Yeah.
beautiful. Absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, that Romanian cauliflower, is it? That's
yeah.
nice example.
Yeah,
of it
it
too.
gets fractal, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, in the beginning was the Logos, yeah. It's like finding religion but not realising it's religion, I think.
Well, one thing's for sure, there's a pattern to life, right?
100%.
The bees, the honeycomb, right? There's a pattern.
How closely that is linked to sound as well. Those geometric patterns can be made through using sound waves as well. I find that really interesting.
Oh yeah, cymatics fascinates me as well. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Sissy. I couldn't think of the word there. Yeah.
That is truly amazing, man. Like a shape to do with a sound, right?
Yeah.
A certain frequency, a certain type of sound makes a certain type of shape.
Yeah.
That's not a chance. That.
Yeah. You know, and you can look that up on a YouTube video in a 2-minute search. Cymatics, thank you, Essie. And you can see that relationship for yourself. You can see them turn the oscilloscope, so you know you can see the sound wave form, and you can watch it change. And then in the same frame, they've got the salt granules or whatever it is, or they can even do it with like paint, can't they? Like a thick paint in a speaker.
Yeah.
They can make it pulse and form geometric patterns in the surface of the paint.
But the freaked out thing is it happens every single time on that frequency. It's that particular shape and no other shape. That's freaked out.
So you mentioned about like honeycomb just now and the bees. You know, there is a certain frequency that creates that honeycomb shape. So maybe the bees operate at that frequency.
You know, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, their wings, maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
That's weird. That is, isn't it?
Yeah, the way sound ties in with like shape and it's moving matter.
Huh?
Think about it.
Yeah.
It's frequency.
Like, I'm not a religious dude, right? But doesn't it say, and God said, "Let there be light"? Like it was spoken, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And
you are exactly correct, sir.
And that speech is a frequency.
And where did God say that? What happens when you put sound with water, the great deep? God, sound? He said, let there be light. What do you put? What? Electricity and light or water?
Oh,
you get the light. Makes sense. Huh?
Nice quote there, Mike. In the beginning was the Logos, and the Logos was with God, and the Logos was God. John 1.1. Did I sound like a preacher there?
I think we found that on the first Logic night we ever did. When we went to go and look at the Logic. And that was a good.
That is freaked out.
Yeah. To go back over those times when we were just freestyling, looking at stuff.
Pulling shit from everywhere.
Now, in that context that Mike wrote, that could mean the Word.
It is the Word.
In the beginning was the Word.
Yeah. The first sentence, literally.
But does that necessarily mean that there is a link between religion and the God figure? Religion and the geometric
Logos.
The geometry that
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Logos leads to.
Yeah, that's what they used to teach Euclid in schools to give people a sense of the God, right? Because once you read the geometry, you understand there is there's something there that's, unexplainable, right? But there's a relationship between all of these things, and that's comes through the logic. But I mean, where does the logic come from? That's the thing. There's nothing,
It was always there.
Yeah,
Just like the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, I think the religion, if anything, is a way to try and understand the unexplainable. Because Euclid, to me, is a way of them showing that you can't really explain the circle or the sphere. You need the 2 points to be able to describe the line, to be able to reference anything from it. It's the first lesson in Euclid. But I don't know, if they take that away from you, then you don't have that grounding of knowing that there's something that you can't know. And then people can imagine all the same or whatever they want.
Yeah, there's just a hardwired logic ingrained into us. Sort of, it's like when you look at like the frequency of something, it looks good, right? And then like, well, what makes it look good? It's how the shapes of it, the pattern, if it's uniform.
I think it's also seeing the relationship between like the sound wave and the physical. You can make that connection. Yeah.
That's the freaked out part. And you hear stories, right? What's that horn? King David. The horn blew the wall down. Wall.
The walls of Jericho, wasn't it?
Jericho, right?
Yeah. Did you? The Prodigy did an absolutely banging dance track called "The Walls of Jericho." Yeah.
It's crazy that such a story exists, right?
Yeah, but sound's got power. You when you go to a club or you go to a gig, you can feel that bass note just resonate in you. I mean, I remember going to the Reading Festival years and years and years ago and being in the middle of the field and just being able to feel the resonance of that bass note. So there is power with sound.
Oh yeah, they have sound cannons, right? We're all familiar with those, right? Crowd control. Yeah.
Yeah. They use them to scare the birds in farmers' fields as well. They just make a loud shotgun noise, and they just place them in the middle of fields, and every now and again they just make this loud boom. And it's just a burst of compressed air, isn't it? power in it. Kev's had
Yeah,
a mic. Sorry.
They call it the frequent phaser.
like the 432 and the 440 hertz. It's kind of weaponizing frequency against our sort of our way of receiving it.
Yeah, I'd read a bit about that, but I didn't really go deep into it, and I can understand that difference in frequency is, but I've never heard the difference between the two. I've never heard them actually separated, and I'd be interested to see how that actually sounds.
Yeah, to the subtle mind, it's not going to really be apparent, but I think over like a long term, you'll kind of feel a little bit more calm.
You're supposed to be able to hear more of the music than, there's just more to it.
Sounds a little better, maybe a little crisper.
Yeah. More depth, if you like.
Tell Buster to start using 432 for his music if he's not.
Did he know about it? Like the difference between?
I'm sure he does,
Yeah,
but I don't know if he.
It's a little bit weird because you tune everything to something. Even we have had a discussion about this.
Yeah, we talked about everything. Everything under the sun.
You're better off talking to Buster about it because I wouldn't do that. I'm looking for some more logic for Kevin. Kev likes logic, it seems.
That's not me, Scratchy Mike, by the way.
Yeah, who is that?
That isn't me. For a change.
That has to be Turnip.
No, that's exposed.
Probably me.
Sorry, Turnip.
Let me,
You fucking window licker, you. Man, it's so nice that we can call each other names in here and nobody gets all butthurt about it. Like, fucking, what a fucking whale as the other guys are? Missing a lot of fun.
I think it's nicer here, isn't it? Like we've got
It's fucking
freedom
nice
we have here that is much better than anywhere else.
I mean, oh my god, the dog is pissing me off. I mean, not that he's exposed Antarctica yet, but I mean, we still like the guy.
Thanks, Turner.
So yeah, I get the logic of any other logic anybody that you think I should work on for the videos.
Did we get the beginning part down? The law of non-contradiction, then the straight line. I don't even think we got past that, right?
Oh well, I mean, Kev's in here. Somebody want to?
Yeah, Kev's he opened his mic up.
Yeah.
You're right, Kev.
Right.
You're clipping again, mate. You're.
Well, I mean, what about it?
So I imagine those are two boats you drew there?
Yeah, sure.
Let me just get it up on screen. So, which one? The first one?
I think it's the one at 4:07 or 7 past the hour for you guys.
Oh, I see the first one. With the one with the hump. He's got direction of looking. That sounds like the third person.
Yeah, that's the one. The first one. Yeah, 405. My bad.
Yeah, you need
Oh, this is
you
the
need you need a third person
Yeah.
to see the hump.
Yeah.
Is that would that be right? Kev?
No,
I
not
think
really.
It's the. Oh, go ahead, Kev. Sorry.
It's from the boat.
So you're actually on another boat, or because you've got direction of looking is towards the line between the two boats.
Oh god, yeah. So you can look from like either one of the boats, you know.
Yeah, but you're in a third location there, if
No.
I'm not mistaken.
So you can be on either one of those boats, looking towards the other boat.
And you would see a hump between you.
If you're looking that way, yes, but it wouldn't look like a hump, like a conventionally. It would just look like the ground.
Right.
Or the water.
We're not talking about what it looks like. We're talking about what happens geometrically.
Sure. So then it depends on how you choose to represent it.
Okay. So do you want to represent it the other way, so we can have a
Well, you can
comparison?
do it either.
Sorry.
So if you're representing it as I've represented it in that first one, it would be a hump.
Yeah, but you said it depends on how you represent it. So obviously there's other representations. So if you can give us
Like
another
the second one.
representation, then we would have a comparison, and we'd have somewhere to go. So
are you saying that the drop in the second one starts from the air? Because you seem to have drawn a line, and that line extends into the air.
Sure. So that's a tangent from the curve where the boat is.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong. You're going out into space there. It's going up. It's not following the water.
Well, that's where you're looking, and anything below that would be dropping away from there.
What? But it says that the drop. I don't get it. You're looking upwards here now, right? Your boat is facing
so
up.
it's looking horizontally from at a tangent from where the boat is.
Yeah, but your tangent is off. It's off going into space there.
Yes,
that line.
Yes, that's how it works.
But you said there's a drop there as well. Did you not?
Sure. So the ground is dropping away from the tangent as that line extends into space.
I'm
Is
trying
it
to
the ground or
understand
is it
it.
the water?
Pardon?
Is it the ground or is it the water?
It's
We're in water now. Let's get this straight now, right? We're in water.
Yeah.
So the water is dropping, but humping at the same time.
It's humping if you choose to look at it like from one boat to another, rather than from the tangent of where the boat is.
So you mean if I put my head real down and go close to the water, I start to see a drop?
Well, you wouldn't
trying to
see much of
understand
a
how
drop
you're.
at all, no. Well,
Excuse me?
you wouldn't see much of a drop, because, but I'm walking. Excuse me.
I think I'm having like hard time understanding how you're visualizing this. Because to me, I see that you drew a ball representing the earth and water curving. The boat is facing upwards, but yet you say there's a drop there. But then you say if you look at it on a different way, there's a hump. I mean, I'm confused.
So what are you basing a drop or a hump off of? Like, what's the question?
Well, you came up with this diagram because I posted the twin boat paradox, and I asked you what you think, and you drew these diagrams, right? So that's why I'm asking you What are you trying to say here?
Well, how would you describe the twin boat paradox?
Well, I thought that's what you were answering, but I'll explain it to you. So you have two boats, right? They're the same, small boats. They're the same height, everything.
We're not
And there's two people.
Picture.
Kind of like the picture, yeah. Yeah.
We get us a meme so we can have a look at it, so we can see what we're doing. I think we've got YouTube viewers.
Have you not got a meme?
Yeah, let's see.
Right.
Where's
right. Let me see if I can get.
I mean, he showed us an illustration of what he was feeling was going on. It's only fair if you can show him an illustration of what you think the twin boat, the best way the twin boat paradox is represented.
Yeah. We'll have a go at that. I mean, that's one of the things that I need to do.
Yeah.
I've already tried it within the optics.
Yeah. That's fair, isn't it, Kev? If SE, all right, it's a meme, yeah, but it's a visual representation of
yeah, there's two of them right there.
That SE is thinking. That's fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So are they looking at, where are they looking?
Have you got them actually where you would put them, SE?
Well, I posted, Mike posted one, and I posted another one on live chat.
Uh-huh.
Can you draw some arrows to show me where the people on the boat are looking?
There.
There you go.
They're facing each other.
Then it's going to appear to be a hump.
It's going to appear to be a hump, okay? And where does the drop come in then?
The drop comes in if you're not looking at each other, but rather are looking at a tangent from your location.
So let's say we both turn and we look east, right? Are we gonna see a drop then? I'm trying to understand.
If you're both looking east, you're going to see a drop.
But if we turn and look at each other, then we see a hump. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to determine my next question now.
Let me ask him one thing. What if you turn to the east and there's another boat over there? Is it a hump or a drop?
Well, again, it depends. Are you looking at the other boat?
Be looking wherever I'm facing. But why do I have to be looking at another boat for it to be a hump or a drop? I'm like, I'm kind of confused. But I like the subject.
So am I. I'm a bit confused as to why there's
absolute nonsense.
problem.
So Kev, here, let's have some clarity.
Hang on. Let Kev speak, right?
Yeah.
There's a few of us just jumping.
He's confused.
Yeah. So let Kev give some space, right? Or give Kev some space. His mic is low, and please try not to speak over each other. So Kev, please make your point.
I don't really see how there's any problem at all.
Well, just explain it a little better, since you obviously know everything about this. So we just want to get a better understanding of it.
Is it that you don't understand the paradox or the problems with having both a drop and a hump, depending on where you're viewing
especially
it from?
when that's dependent on the direction you're looking, yes.
But you're always
if you're looking
in
down
this
into the ground,
place
you're going to see a hump.
aren't you? You're always there, you.
Yeah.
So that's never going to change. You can't leave where you are. Right?
I can change where I look though, can't I?
Yeah, but that's just where you're looking, right? The water level, you don't think you can affect the water level as to how you're looking at it, right?
And that's the thing you got to remember, Kev, that all this ties back to the water level. You're looking at You have two different levels of water depending on where you're looking.
No,
No.
you're just
Think of what
looking
you're
at it
saying,
differently.
Kev. Think of what you're saying. You're saying you're on a boat now. You've been canoeing, right?
Yeah,
You've been canoeing? Okay. So you've been on calm water. All around you, you look and
been on a
it's...
river.
But you must have hit a stretch of calm water. You looked all around you and you're seeing the water nice and calm.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So what you said before, this is why you're finding it hard to get this. You're a little bit perplexed because you're saying if you look in the front of the canoe, you're going to see a hump, and if you look to the left of it, you're going to see a drop. Now, does water behave that way? Have you ever seen water behave that way?
Ah, I see. Well, if you're not looking below like a horizontal, then it's going to appear to be a drop.
What? What do you mean? If you look horizontal is let's say you're standing at the beach, right? And you look at the horizon.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you envision that? What do you envision there? How do you see it? Like one way it goes down, and if you look to the left, it goes up.
It's
Kevin, I don't think you're talking right now.
That's all right.
Oh, he's thinking.
sorry.
He's thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nah, it's push to
Oh,
talk. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
He's on it as well. Good call.
So
I don't really think we're getting too far with it.
no, I know it's what we found is that within all of this, whenever you look at the water level, then it's provably horizontal, which isn't a problem for most people that live in reality. It's just a problem with people with a model.
You see, I think it clicked to him when he went on the beach. Something must have clicked there, right? Because you've been on the beach, right? You look straight ahead. You don't see a hump. And when you look to your left... sorry, go ahead.
Are you trying to look at a boat that is... Did my voice cut out?
Yeah.
Are you trying to look at a boat that's gone over a curve?
No. I tried to put you on land and looking at water, so you can see so you could try to visualize it differently. Because when you're standing on the beach, you see the horizon, right? When you look straight at it, you see it level, horizontal, right? So now what you're saying is on the boat, when you're looking straight, you see a hump there. Okay, fine. Now, when you look to your left, you said you see a drop. Now, can you ever envision yourself being on the beach, looking to your left or to your right and seeing a drop there?
There's a difference between looking at your horizon and looking at a boat. Well, there's a difference of looking horizontally and looking at a boat. I thought you were trying to say... I can't remember, sorry.
No, I know this is a mind-bending thing, because there's no way that you can look at it that it can make sense to you, right? You can't have both a drop and a hump.
It depends on what you're looking at. So if you're looking horizontally, it's going to be a drop. If you look at the boat directly, it's going to be a hump.
Are you sure? Can you think you can go out in the real world, in a river and demonstrate that?
Well, that's not the paradox, is it?
Yeah, the
I'm a little
paradox.
confused.
The paradox is when you link it to a water level.
And the paradox for you as well is it depends on which direction you're looking. How can the geometry of the water change depending on which direction you're looking in?
It doesn't. The way it appears changes.
Alright, so it's an apparent change.
Yeah, that's not real.
But yeah, if I move around my house, the geometry of...
Yeah, the geometry of everything around you changes visually.
But it
Yes.
doesn't actually change at all.
I know.
Yeah.
It's,
That's what
it's
we're
kind of what
talking
I'm
about.
trying
We're
to say.
talking about a water level being provably horizontal in reality. And then the rest, obviously, must be whatever you're visually seeing, right?
I have a question real quick. I have a quick question. When you say look at something horizontally, what do you mean by that? How do you look at something horizontally?
So if you're looking directly, like, perpendicular to Plumb at any one point.
Geometrically speaking, perpendicular to Plumb,
Yeah, that's not how your eyes work, is it? Like, your eyes...
Have you, like, Terminator, innit? It's like a geometric...
You've got no crosshairs on your eyes.
Yeah, we don't see like that, do we?
Well...
Organic is how we see.
But, yeah, and that's getting out into the weeds of understanding what horizontal is.
What surprises me is somebody could think that there's a hump when you look in front of the boat and a drop when you look to your left. I mean, how does that work in your head, Kev?
Well, I thought you were talking about two different things. So when you look east, I thought you were trying to say that you're looking horizontally, and when you're looking at the boat, you're looking directly at the boat, which are two different things.
Yeah, you're taking it into the optics. It's not. This isn't an optical problem. This is a geometric problem.
No, it's not a geometric.
Well, it's not.
No,
not for us, right? But for the model, it's a geometric problem, not an optical thing.
This is why so many people just want to run off into optics and just hide from the geometry. You know.
But even if we give them their optical fantasy for a couple of minutes, it sounds ridiculous to the average person, saying that the water is humped when you look straight at each other, one boat to the other, and it's dropped when you look to your left.
You're taking that out of context. So it's not specifically when you look left, it's when you look horizontally. That it's different to when you look at a boat.
So where is horizontally? Let's say now you're looking at it. I'm looking at you. You're looking at me, right? We're both on each of these boats, right? And we see a hump in the middle. What direction do you have to look to see the drop?
So you'd have to look up a bit because you'd have to.
You would have to look up.
Look up to see a drop? Okay, you're not making any sense. At least to me, you're not.
Yeah, sure. I'm aware that I'm not making sense to some people, or pretty much anyone here.
You just said you have to look up to see a drop.
Yeah.
So the drop would be from where you're looking to the boat.
So, like, if you were on the beach, you would have to look up a little bit to see that angle.
You're still talking about looking. You're always
I thought
going after the optics.
this is what the I'm sorry, but the
Surely the ball must have dropped by now, Kev. Come on.
pardon?
I'm saying surely you must have noticed something not absolutely correct here.
No. I think not. No.
You think not? No. You think that depending on where you're looking. No. Okay.
Can I because when we first started doing this, you know what a water level is?
Yeah.
A tool, right? Well, imagine there's a boat, right, and you've got your boats there, and you've each got grab hold of the end of a water level, right, on the boats, and they're however far apart you are, right? Because it's not really scalable, a water level, is it? So if you were to fill that tube up, then both people in the boats would be holding the end of it, and the water level would be there, right? You'd be able to, it'd even out, and that'd be that. Right, Kev? Do you know what a water level is? Oh, he's got to go from voice. Oh, sorry.
That's too bad, Kev.
Yeah, that's
Starting to get good.
Yeah, it's a nice chat, Kev.
Yeah.
When you feel like it, I mean, you've been in text past couple of days, on and off. Yeah, welcome to next level.
Logic.
When you feel like coming back, feel free.
Yeah, have a thought. Think about what we said about the paradox.
Don't get us wrong, we're not saying you have to go. You can sit and listen.
Yeah, I've noticed that they've been doing that for a while. They always take it to the optics again and take it away from the geometry. It's a geometric problem. You can't have a drop and a hump at the same time. But I thought that's where you were going to start with, Kev, Essie, to be honest.
Well, I wanted to go gently, you know?
Yeah, you took him into the hump. Or a drop, right? You should have took him with the law of non-contradiction first, I think. That would have been a good place
Oh,
to
yeah,
start.
my bad. We're logic night. Oh, man. Yeah, my bad. Next time.
No, but
Yeah.
by the same token, that's okay, because Kev's... I don't want to use the word argument. It was that illustration. It was the one that he presented. So...
Yeah, that's why I went with that. Yeah, but I still should have, since it's logic night, I should have went with the law of non-contradiction.
It should always be, right? If you're going into what you're going to call a paradoxical statement and an argument with someone, you should first off make sure that the law of non-contradiction, because you can't have something that's a hump but dropping at the same time. That's the paradox, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you should really start with the law of non-contradiction, just to state that, you know, at some point you're sort of laying the cards down, aren't you, for whoever it is that you're talking to. You're telling them where they're gonna have to go at first and cutting off the end point.
But if you're on the hump, and you look down, then it is a drop.
Well, that's the problem with the water level.
Uh-huh.
Because if you put yourself with one end of a water level, then the other end is obviously lower. But then they want to have the hump in between the water levels, so the hump then changes. Once you that's the twin boat paradox. It's the water level. Like it's okay if there's just you. You can be on top of the ball and you can imagine everything like that. But put yourself with a water level and you've got two ends, and then they imagine themselves in the middle, which doesn't work. It's the paradox of the entire argument.
And don't get us wrong, Kev. It's not that we don't want to talk about the optics. I mean, any one of us could probably talk you through the optics, and you know, we probably have a chat for 3-4 hours, you know, but at the end of the day it's optical.
Yeah, that's not logic, is it? Other than
what happens optically happens optically. What happens geometrically is provable, and you can do that with water. It's just so simple. So yeah, anytime if you want to pop back and have a chat, it's logic night tonight. So didn't want to go down the optics path.
Geometrically, nothing changes unless you actually manipulate it and move it and actually change the geometry of something, like the shape of it. Then the geometry changes.
He doesn't think he can get much further with the twin boat paradox, he says.
Yeah, it's like because they have to have both.
Yeah.
That's the paradox. They're stuck with it. No set night. Right.
Do some deep thinking on the subject, Kev. You might just change your mind on that one.
I think it does your head in. It's a geometric problem. It's unsolvable.
So you just gotta let the problem go.
Yeah, there's no way around this one.
They invented geometries for it. I mean, we give you a hand if you can go and check the website. On the level.live/imaginometry.
Always on the ball. Plug the
He says, the way I see the paradox is like a zebra thing. Does a zebra have black or white stripes?
It definitely has black and white stripes.
Absolutely both. But is a zebra a giraffe at the same time? Ah, Kev, you didn't think of that one.
I like their analogies are always way off.
It's okay. We can play in their zoo if they want, and I can do the animal thing. Oh, left lane has entered the room.
Oh, nice logic night. Thanks for coming. I'm just
left lane agrees with Kev.
What they don't really understand, or that there is both a hump and a drop at the same time, which can equal out to be called horizontal, I'd say.
Well, left lane tagged Kev with there is no paradox.
There is no paradox.
Well, why doesn't left lane come in and explain it? You know, if he's there and he's telling Kev, well, don't tell Kev something that you think. Come and explain your reasoning behind your thoughts. It's not rocket science.
Well, the two things cancel each other out. That's how you get horizontal. The hump cancels out the drop cancels out the hump.
That is horizontal, yeah. The midpoint between the two models. Horizontal. Straight line. They don't like him though.
They hate straight lines.
Mm-hmm. Because the straight lines can be proved. Keyboard's knackered.
Yeah. Does it stop working? Batteries on it.
Oh, there you go. Let's come back.
Left lane, what did you hop in?
They're all scared to talk.
Because they just heard how ridiculous their argument is, and they don't want to sound that ridiculous.
Your mic's really gargled.
Left lane says, I've heard all the arguments. Explaining it is like beating your head against the wall.
So why are you here?
Yeah, it's because he likes to come and hear it again. He likes to hear the argument that they can't beat.
Yeah.
Did you say that my mic was bad?
Why is ours do a sound bad? What's it, 94? There you go.
Do I sound bad as well?
No, you guys sound good.
I thought somebody said my mic was garbled or something.
Yeah, it was bad before. Now it's a little bit better.
How little's little, Essie?
There you go.
Sorry?
Got that, sorry.
How little is little?
Just a tad.
I think as far as logic goes, this is about as logical an argument I think there is. You know, the double drop hump, the twin boat paradox.
And you know the beautiful thing is, Left Lane. Is it Left Lane that's joined us?
Oh, wait a minute. I'll just.
Is it
I
Left
think
Lane?
I got that.
Yes, it's left lane. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Bev hasn't got his Discord up,
There you
so
go.
I couldn't see who's in. And the beautiful thing about it, Left Lane, is you can go out
Is
and
he in?
do it for yourself.
He's not here.
Has he gone?
He might be listening on the YouTubes. There'll probably be a few
Has
of
he
them
gone?
listening in. He's not in here.
Never mind. Well, if you're listening on the YouTube, you can go and do it for yourself, Left Lane.
To say that when we first came into it, this was what Jesse Kozlowski said he did. I mean, I couldn't believe he was getting away with saying it. Like, legitimately, realistically saying that from each side of a lake, he was shooting different horizontals without actually
too, bro.
understanding what he's doing.
Let's have a picture of that. Talking about.
Took a while.
When I first saw the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge, which we renamed the Rakia Bridge, by the way, I couldn't believe my eyes.
About the bridge.
Yeah. I was listening to that.
Mo power to you.
I couldn't believe my eyes, and I was asking them, "Are you saying there's an actual curve there?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course there's a curve there." Okay.
There's loads of these. Right, so here's a WordPress. This is Jesse Kozlowski. WordPress there. And these are the shots he was taking. Anybody can go and have a look at them. Over like half a mile across a lake, saying that it's above, so the different horizontals from either side of the lake.
Unbelievable, man.
So they're talking about optics.
So he's got some nice kit. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a guy who's got. They've got some money because they've bought these tools and they're taking pictures through it. I mean, it even says, look, note. It even says it on the top of it. Note: taking photographs through surveying instrument telescopes is not standard surveying practice and is not to be confused with making surveying measurements using those instruments.
Where have we heard that before?
He's a wizard, this man. He's telling you from the offset that nothing that he's showing you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, literally.
He's telling you from the beginning to ignore everything he's showing you.
Yeah. That's wizardry. Modern day wizardry. Because his purpose is to try and convince you that those horizontals are intersecting. There's a hump in the middle of that water there that he's looking across. And he
That's amazing, huh?
Measure the difference in it. Well, we know, as we've just been dealing with George and Rumpus and whoever else, mainly George, with the thickness of the crosshair and how much the angular size of the crosshair that he was doing with stadiometric rangefinding, using the crosshair over that distance. Yeah, I mean, how thick's the crosshair? How high is that above the target on the other side? It's half a mile. How far's half a mile meant to be on their model? What exactly is it? But when we...
What about the...
Oh, go on,
sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say, what about the isosceles triangle paradox?
Paradoxes are coming out of the woodworks. I love it.
I'd say this is a pretty good paradox. The measurement gets larger, but the angle gets smaller.
It's kind of a funny word to use, paradox, too, especially with the twin boat paradox. You know, because there's that twin paradox that Einstein had. I don't want to talk about that, but it's just, you know, like if you aged at a certain point compared to another person at another point, you know, and like in time, it's like
that requires time travel. That's like a paradox to take you away from. That's a Zeno paradox.
That's Star Trek, yeah.
Fantasy, just like. Nah.
Yeah.
This is a paradox, a true paradox. It's not a paradox for those of us that know reality, because level being horizontals, easily provable and easily measurable, right? It's used every day by people that actually use it. It's only a paradox if you've got a model. Because the paradox...
there's two competing sides, because pair too. So it's like could be this way or it could be that. So I think that's what I get from paradoxes.
Yeah, well, the paradox for the ballers is they've got the drop and the hump, and they cannot accept the midpoint between them, which is the horizontal. Right, so they're stuck with their paradox. It's forever going to be one of the hardest things for anybody that has a model. It's a true paradox for them. They've got both of them that contradict each other, but both of them have to be true for them to keep their model. And they have to keep their model, so they just have to be true. That's just it.
And I've always thought about refraction too, you know, with this paradox, as the boat's actually going over to this, you know, this curve. And when does refraction start to like bring that boat back up, basically? Because that's like the elephant in the room too, when I'm thinking about this paradox stuff, something going over. It's like it's supposedly disappeared, right? So when does that refraction happen, you know? I think that's sort of like a paradox in a way too. It's like you can't really...
I think so.
What curve?
Yeah. I think it's just the compression of the layers, and that you're looking through a lot of compressions of the layers, because they're just compressing in front of you, literally in front of your eyes, below your what you call the eye line. The horizontal is slightly above the horizon, as it would be, well, at the beach, true horizon, because your eyes are above the water. So it's always going to be compressing to a point below your eyes. And the further you get away, the more stuff compresses into that band.
Yeah, atmospheric compression. Yeah.
Well,
it's lensing too, as well.
Dirty words. Don't be coming round here using those dirty words. It's just the bands of the air. But all of that, as they compress, you could have, like off in the distance, 20 odd miles of sky compressed into an inch, or less than that, couldn't you? And if you can do that, then all of those bands that are of the different bands of the air that go and shrink into that would be dropping your eye down. There would be a natural curve to the image that you're seeing, I would say.
Yeah,
possibly
but
easily shown.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, but it's just like they can't really explain that refraction thing too well.
Well, we don't bother with refraction just yet. We'll sort the geometry part out of it first.
Yeah. I just wanted to see what he was going to say about that, if Kev was still here, but yeah. I don't think he's gotten there maybe yet. I don't know if he had an explanation for that.
He gone. He said most people don't stick around.
Somebody taking a bath. I hear water sloshing around.
Oh, sorry. I need to mute my mic.
Yeah. It's exposed.
That was a bit blunt.
So,
did you not bring any manners with you?
We've got the hump and the drop paradox, because it is literally one of the best paradoxes there is. Then you've got, I think, the horizontals being parallel to each other. That's perhaps one of the strongest arguments, because you're not having to deal with any curve then at all. Really, you're just literally dealing with the logical argument that's based around a Euclidean proof.
Absolutely. That one kills two things.
Yeah.
You know which is the other one that I'm referring to.
I think it's one of the straightest ways into the argument, I think, with the most unobtrusive anyway, because for people that aren't aware of the actual argument, how could they deny it? How could anyone deny that a horizontal is parallel to the plane of the horizon? It's literally how it's defined anywhere, even mathematically. Unless they get into the dictionaries to do that. I don't know. And how can you have a plane of the horizon if there's no such thing as a plane? If there's a... Right? They have a point, don't they?
Just the word horizontal. That should tell you something, right?
Yeah, I chose to think of it. It was initially when we first did the how many straight lines does it take to make a circle?
The ridiculous questions we've asked ourselves. It's just.
But once you take that on, right, then you realise that the horizontal is the totality of the horizon, right, all the way round, full 360, it's all horizontal. It's a plane. You are on that horizontal plane as you turn around. So that's all you're doing is establishing a horizontal, and all of them have to be parallel to each other. You can't turn a full 360 and get a horizontal if you're always looking down.
SE, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I've just had a flash of the what was it with the sound?
Cymatics.
Cymatics, yeah. When the particles are suspended on that sound wave, that pressure wave, and they're jiggling around, are they in a horizontal plane?
Absolutely, if I recall correctly, yeah.
And I think they've been able to do it using sound in the horizontal and vertical plane at the same time. Using sound.
Well, sorry. You said horizontal. My apologies. I saw it in the vertical plane using styrofoam balls, little balls, actually suspended one on top of the other. I couldn't believe my eyes. But I've never seen it in the horizontal plane.
But when they put the salt granules on that black surface and it starts jigging around, are they in contact with that surface, or are they suspended on that sound energy, if you like?
I think they're jiggling on the surface, but I'm not sure actually. That's a good question. I don't know if they're floating. I would say no, but I wouldn't bet on it.
It'd be interesting to have a look into cymatics and see if they actually do get like particles floating, and see if they do sit on a horizontal plane. That'd be mad if they did.
That would be freaked out, yeah. But the other ones definitely are floating in the vertical plane, and there's a gap in between them.
Cool.
It's like the most freakiest thing I've ever seen.
And that's using cymatics sound.
Sound, yeah, frequency, yeah.
So would you say that's like sound energy?
I don't know if I would call it energy, but it's definitely a vibration, right? A movement of the, what would you call it, of the air, of the atmosphere. Yeah.
Movement require energy.
Oh, it absolutely. Well, if you want to call electricity energy, right? It's a loaded word.
Yeah,
is right the hand here?
Well, I mean, you've got the conversion of that electricity into a sound wave, yeah, and energy. It can never be destroyed, and you just change forms of energy. So there must be a transformation. The energy must transform from the sound wave into the.
Can you imagine if that frequency, that's the actual shape it traverses in when it I don't know, when it goes from one point to the other? Because we have sound affecting matter.
Yeah.
It's freaked out, man.
It's lovely to watch that.
Just think of it as energy, frequency, and vibration.
Well, yeah, it turns movement, right? The movement of a magnet, it turns it into electricity, whatever that is. That makes a speaker, that makes a magnet vibrate something, which causes a cardboard to make a frequency, which goes through the air, which hits matter and makes it turn into a pattern.
And that pattern is the energy expression of the sound wave being created.
Yeah.
Madness. Geometric. Always geometric. How crazy is that?
When you say geometric, what do you mean?
Well, like hexagons and...
I mean, like all the shapes and everything that we already know from real geometry, like the only geometry there actually is. It's like there's only actually one geometry, isn't there?
The way everything...
In reality, in
always
reality,
imagined.
there's only one geometry.
Is Kevin still with us?
I think he might be listening in on the tubes.
YouTubes. Shout out Kevin if you are listening in, mate. Good chat. Hope you come back.
Now, do you know what all those things we describe have in common?
Go on.
Movement.
Sound, movement, yeah. Energy has to move, doesn't it?
So is energy the transfer of movement? I don't know.
How it's transferred, maybe.
I vote definitely energy and motion are like can kind of be synonymous a little bit.
Yeah.
We always equate energy with motion, don't we? I mean, you think of the waves on the sea can create energy. You know, that motion can be created into an energetic form. So I think there is an equation between the two, but you know, an equation as in we equate one to be the other, or one giving us the other.
There's an energy. There's an equation between all three, because an energy gives us vibration, and vibration gives us a frequency. Oh, sorry, energy gives us a frequency, and frequency gives us a vibration, and that is the movement that we actually see.
It's all about motion, isn't it? Nothing could happen without motion. Think about it.
But the motion won't happen.
Yeah, you got to have the object to move, right? So it's your two fundamental components.
And you got to have the energy to move the object.
Yep.
The three of them.
Trifecta,
that's what. Always in threes.
I see motion as something that needs to be transferred from like one object to another, right? Like there has to be motion already in progress so that it can transfer that to the other object.
It's like a comparison too, in a way. It's like one, like if you want to take one, like sort of, like little placement of like matter, if you want to call it like that. Just matter is just like comparing itself to each other, like within like a grid, sort of, you know. It's like whatever how it moves and what it looks like and how it weighs, and just there's so many variables around it, I think.
No,
I think I just got slapped with a logical thought.
You know, the energy is already there, and then get the frequency. Once you get the frequency, then you get the movement. So that's when you get the vibration, and that's what we use. Is a vibration.
Would it be?
Deep.
I was going to say, would it be correct to say that nothing could happen without motion?
Yes, but you need the initial energy there, and energy is all around us.
Yeah,
and that's what's creating the vibration.
What
and
is
then we
energy?
You get into the circular argument, and
it's tough, isn't it?
This is
oh yeah.
We could sit here and debate this for hours, you know.
That's the thing, the definition of it.
Yeah.
No, we can
hard to describe, right? Like we can't see it, and so it's hard to give it the properties that we usually do with vision, like touch, it's hard, it's round.
Oh, breaking up. Is he gone? He's gone for us, I think.
That.
Oh,
Maybe he swapped us with the drone.
Probably gonna be back.
Yeah.
Probably a voice thing.
Yeah, I reckon he swapped us for the drone.
I think the if you look at it in that way, I don't know. You're never going to know. It started off with movement and then turned to energy. Well, there's plenty of different reasons that movement can occur. Linking them all to energy is a bit...
Yeah, it's...
You know.
You need energy for the movement, and that movement will produce energy. So...
It's like a chicken and an egg thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, the movement will create vibration, and once you create vibration, then you've got electricity, you've got all sorts of things. Everything's moving. Yeah.
So, you add a third one into the mix, and, again, which came first?
Yeah, I've always said within the periodic table that they have, there's something missing. And I reckon that's something to do with frequency or vibration or whatever you want to call it.
I think it's something we've got missing.
Yeah.
I think they knew it in the past.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Purposely, there's loads of stuff that purposely taken away from us. Simple stuff as well.
Oh, yeah.
Geometry.
And we use their words to describe it. That's the funny part sometimes. But,
Well,
I think we need both.
We've been given the argument, haven't we?
yeah, that's what it is. It's you're trying to construct an argument based on what they're giving you, but at the same time, like, are we looking at the excitement of photons, and are we understanding exactly what's going on? It's like, what is the structure of an atom? Basically, we can't even. Is it what they tell us? Obviously, it's probably not. It's
I wouldn't have a clue.
Think about when you're like driving, right? And you're going fast. Now the air is going like past you, but that air that's going past you would spin a fan, which would create energy. So the faster you went, right? And I think this is how planes don't need jet fuel. Like at a certain point, the air, like your speed is actually what's pushing the turbines, not the turbines powering to push you. So I think there's this tipping point when you're going fast enough that air that goes over the turbines will keep spinning it just from the speed that you have, and you can maintain your own speed.
mm-hmm.
Is this logic, or are we talking?
It's kind of deviating.
Yeah, no, I think it is logical, because I was thinking about it. I'm like, again, with the drone, I'm flying the drone, right? Now, when the drone's flying, it's going 25 miles an hour, and that air is going 25 miles over the propellers. So is it fighting the propellers, or is it powering the propellers? And I think I think just the blade, the angle of the blades and whatnot, yeah, I think logically you can gather whatever, the energy, whatever you want to call it, from that air that's passing over you, that you're going through. You can use that.
I saw a thing. Somebody made a bet on what you're saying. I think was it Veritasium or one of these guys? They said that those they have like a cart with a fan on it. Anyways, he said that it's impossible to make it go faster than the wind. Was a professor, did calculations, whatever, and they bet like $10,000 or something. And apparently the professor backed down after. So they were able to make it go faster than the wind. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, no, how? How?
I don't know. You got to watch the video. If I
how
find
does
it,
10 mile an hour get you to 12? How would that happen? Unless you're harnessing more than what you're getting, whatever it is.
Yeah,
energy,
something to do with the blade. Yeah, something to do with the blade, or you have to see it. Now it could be all bull, right?
Well, if you've got a low pressure behind, then the air would actually be dragged quicker through the high pressure to the low pressure.
Yeah, that was another thought I had. Like the plane since it's pulling so much air, it creates suction, right? And so it's basically flying through a vacuum because the propellers are creating such a down pulling force that it creates, again, that just be, but I think it could create some kind of vacuum, whatever. So instead of getting resistance, it doesn't. So that could be another way that they save energy or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it creates a vacuum, but if it creates a lower pressure behind than in front, then the air will actually be drawn in quicker because it's got equalizer.
Yeah, that's I definitely think they're using something on the vacuum and the pulling, like, and it pulls itself or whatever. Yeah,
negative pressure, positive pressure. I wouldn't say vacuum.
Yeah. But I think that concept is what. So I don't think I think a little bit of fuel to start the engine maybe, but once it's up in the air, I think that's what takes over.
Well, planes use all their fuel to get up. And once they get up to the cruising level, they use very little fuel at all.
Yeah, that's what I think, man. So I think they're lying about how much the 50,000 gallons. That's
If they use that much, how much bleeding massive would the fuel tanks have to be?
It would take like 4 or 5 of those like huge gas tank, cars just to fill it up. I think they only use like one, maybe, if that. Like whenever you see it being refueled, like an airport or somewhere. Yeah. But as the winds are going down, though, if the gradient if it's lowering down as there's low to high pressure as it's going down, and if it's cold air, basically as you get up higher, and it's going to be, I think it's a little bit easier to get those faster winds too, and so it kind of makes that effect. That's how they kind of explain these winds. Like in the polar regions too.
Oh, the Gulf Stream. I think that's what they call them, the Gulf Streams.
Yeah, I guess you can attribute it to Gulf Stream winds, maybe. Not sure.
I think we've hijacked the conversation, haven't we? Sorry, Beth.
How did we end up from going from parallel horizontals to, I don't know where we ended up there.
One final thing on the subject. It's partly my fault and Write the Hands. I just posted the Write the Hand, that thing I was telling you about. If you want to have a look at it.
Yeah, and I'll check that out. I'm interested in this whole propeller and there's something else going on.
Yeah, there's obviously loads of shit going on there.
Yeah.
They're obviously not telling you. I mean, they've tried to convince people that there's a drop to the water underneath the feet.
Yeah, no, I was doing that. So you have the hump, right, which is change in elevation, right? A hump has to be a change in elevation because it's a hill or it's a hump, right? So then you have the hump that's a change in elevation until it becomes that specific hump. Then once that happens, it's no longer a hump; it's level ground.
Well, I think the half of the paradox they have is they're horizontal. Like within their model, they don't have a horizontal. So that's where the hump is. It's always where you are because the horizontal doesn't exist
give
anymore.
Something up. Yeah, they gave up the horizontal to get level to curve around the ball. So now the horizontals, anything horizontal can't be level, even elevation, like the salt flats. They have to change in elevation.
Yeah.
But where?
Yeah. It's obviously not there. And when you take optics as well, then you can see that there's definitely no drop. You can't have the two. You just have to live in some sort of confused state of misunderstanding everything, just to allow yourself to have it. It's a really weird place. And it's hardly surprising people don't want us around, because this is a hard conversation for anyone to have.
Yeah, this really gets them. There's no way out of this one. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. Straight to jail.
Obfuscate the conversation. That's all they've got.
That's it.
And saying stuff like, you don't understand geometry and you don't understand this, and we've already told you.
Trigonometric functions as opposed to fucking whatever.
Yeah, getting caught up in trigonometric functions within mathematical equations, and
whether they're linear or fucking who gives a fuck.
You don't prove horizontal with math.
I know. Like, horizontal is a real thing. It's in reality. It's not within maths. It's the baselines that you use, horizontal and vertical. That's it. The two right lines.
I bet you. Go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say, when you were talking about one of the question was like, who invented logic? And I was like, my pro was like God, right? Like God, he made things logical, right? He made the world work in a way so that it's logical, and then we can identify with it. So if somebody tries to come with some illogical bullshit, we can be like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the creator. Yeah, I can go along with that. It was always there. So whoever made this place made that as well.
Jimmy Boy thinks maths is flat earth kryptonite. Well, we wouldn't know about flat earthers. I'd like to see somebody come with some geometry to back a model. Not just equations that don't really mean much.
Yeah, and logic is the ball earth kryptonite.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking,
that's the truth.
Just a simple.
Oh.
You could be like, okay, I dig, and the deeper I get, right, at 100 feet, it's this hard. 200 feet, it's harder. 300 feet, it's harder, right? Logic would say the deeper you go, the harder it gets. That's logical. Nothing fancy.
Yeah. There's plenty of easy things for the logic to... Jimmy Boy thinks maths is flat earth kryptonite, but also geometry is maths. So I'd say if you understood what you're talking about, Jimmy Boy, geometry is the foundation of maths. It's the logical steps that founded mathematics, and the logical formulation that founded geometry. Geometry is true, whereas mathematics can be played around with.
The only place you can show math in reality is like showing quantity, right? Like 2, 3, and even then, I would say that's not math.
Yeah.
Roman numerals isn't math. It's just quantification.
Fits into things much better, especially packing and packaging and all of that sort of stuff. Spatial awareness, it's much easier to do computations like that. So maths is just a number representation of stuff, whereas logic is the actual reality sort of idea in what it is. Right, geometry is much better than maths, and you do well to study the geometry, Jimmy boy.
I think math is, as somebody who is good at it, right? It's just memorization. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If you know the square root of 15, they'll say you're a human calculator, but you just know predetermines.
Yeah, it's good at memorizing things with the numbers. Wow, Jimmy boy. Yeah, that's nice maths. Nicely done. Love it. But geometry is the foundation of the logic. It's step by step logical formulation of from one to the next, which is hopefully what we're going to try and do here. But we seem to have stalled for a bit. But I mean, sorting ourselves out, deciding where we're going to be doing stuff and where we're going to be going forwards and what we're doing. It looks like this is the sort of path we're on. We're on a sort of
nomadic
design factory.
Yeah.
Memes, logos, ideas,
graphic representation.
Yeah. Oh, graphics. Yeah, that's good. GIFs, memes, videos.
If they can
music.
use graphics, so can we.
Rob Keane's become a member.
On the YouTubes.
Yeah. He's been a member for 6 months. I don't know why that just came up. Unless it's just renewed.
Is he in a chat? Evening, Rob.
Yeah, he can't come in, he did say.
Evening, Rob.
We're
Glad you
missing
could
the
join
hot
us.
mic. Yeah, V. Thomas, they haven't even heard of Euclid and they think logic is something in their computers. We were saying that the other day.
Yeah.
They've hijacked logic and put it within the computer framework now. So most of the time, whenever they hear logic, they automatically go to computers. It's the same as what they do with geometry.
Which is either a yes or a no situation,
Yeah.
isn't it? You've either got a yes or a no inside a computer. But with
And you-
logic, it's a progression of understanding.
Yeah.
And that's not a yes or a no thing. So the logic within a computer is not the logic that we're talking about. They're two completely different things.
They can find their own axioms and build around the axioms within the logical framework of the axioms that they set parameters of. Well, we've already been set those parameters within natural laws. And the real logic is to deal with that stuff, I think. And that's maybe where they've changed it.
And keep out of the fucking optics.
I like to equate the whole computer logic to human logic in the terms of if you're writing a program and that first line, your first line of logic is bad, when you start going back to it, you're going to get crashes and failures and all these, bugs. And it's the same with the horizontal, right? Horizontal, then you go back, right, and try and build on it. You can't.
DP can't hear. DP was just freestyling that, just talking. We are. Nobody else is talking, are they? I've lost it.
Spot on's back in. Evening spot on.
No, guys.
Yeah.
I won't ask what have I missed.
Oh, we're just going over the basic logic again. Always. As always.
At the moment, we're kind of chatting about computer logic and kind of the difference between the ones and twos situation of computer logic and the logic that we understand as logic, whereas the ones and twos situation is within the confines of a computer. Yeah, that's computer logic. That is the logic, and it is the way a computer thinks, yes or no. But we're not restricted to that. You know, we have a progression of understanding, and that's where the two logics separate. There is no comparison between the two.
Yeah.
You know.
It's trying to make a computer have the same capability as a mind.
Well, no, but
Don't you have to use
the original logic to even work the parameters?
To build the logic.
Yeah, of course, yeah. What's that? But limited by the logic that they put in it as a...
And that original logic is limited to the mind of the person who's building that computer and the logic within that computer. So...
Yeah, well said, yeah.
Well, the parameters you've set within a program will reflect the logic you use to build it.
Yeah.
Do you think different builders and programmers would logically build different programs, the same program, but in different ways?
Oh yeah, that's what I think. That's the like God had built something and it's programmed perfectly, right? And people are trying to, we're gonna make another hamburger, or we're gonna make horizontal, whatever, and it's just not as good because it, like you said, it's not going to be like his.
You say it's logic, but is it the limitation of the person that's actually writing the program?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
He'd be limited by his knowledge and his right. Like you can't write a computer program that does something you can't experience or you haven't. It's like thinking of a new color. Like it is just not something you can do.
So there's always limitations to anybody that's writing a computer program.
Yeah,
themselves.
I would say yeah. Exactly. Themselves would be the limit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Their learning, their knowledge, their experiences, their whatever it takes to go into that computer program would be that,
but that's probably what.
Of that computer program.
Sorry, DP.
Nah, that's right, mate. Go on you go.
No, sorry, go on, mate.
No.
Just the. Sorry, I was going to say that. So that one person is limited, but the people as a group, a company. That's when many minds, yeah.
Yeah. We
still limited,
no,
but more.
We were saying this just the other day that as this group has built, we have found different skills within each other. And I mean, have you seen that thing that Mobius has done? Spot on.
Yeah. The one. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, on the map, on the Google Earth type map, and he's got the water level and the perpendicular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes.
And that's come. That's been a think tank, a group progression of an idea.
Yeah.
Of how to express the principle of a shared straight line segment. And what is creating that straight line? Well, there's a representation. You can. We've built water because water demonstrates that. And that is, you can show that it can be done.
Don't get me wrong. I wasn't actually saying that there's a limitation to this server. What I'm saying is there's a limitation to other servers because they are constrained by. We live on a model. I don't live on a model, but I'm saying they live on a model. Therefore, they cannot think outside of that model. Whereas other people, i.e., this server, and hopefully other free thinkers, can actually think outside the box.
Well, that goes back to what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Was that whatever information you've accepted to be true, that's your filter. That's how you respond and react. And if you've accepted a model or you accepted falsehoods as your truths, you're on pretty shaky ground. Terrible framework to work within.
Or if you're willing
i.e. i.e. intersecting horizontals.
Yeah, but if you're willing to learn and you're willing to be open to stuff, then we can actually process a lot more stuff than what's been said, because what has been said is mostly garbage. Not on this server, but on others.
What other servers?
I'm not going to say.
It's mainly garbage on this server as well.
No, what I'm saying is, as far as I'm concerned, now there are no other servers. I don't need any other server apart from this one. And yeah, there is we do talk a lot of shit. We talk about all sorts. And people drop in and we have a chat. I mean, look at Kev earlier. Kev dropped in, we had a chat, Kev left. See you later, come back when you want. And we talk about all sorts of shit. It's not all about level and horizontal. It's about the things that form that level within the water. The thought processes behind what is water, what happens to water. This is going off the geometry bit, but we're chatting about servers in general. And you're right, other servers don't have, I'm going to use the word capability, to do what we do here. They can't have the conversation and shoot the ideas around. We take the piss out of each other because I view all of you as, you're like companions for me. And it's good to have you around.
Companions. That's good.
Companion.
We all draw off of each other, and
I've been called a companion for a while.
Like Tripitaka, his monkey.
Yeah, my monkey.
Playthings is a better word.
Littlest hobo.
There's a voice keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Yeah. No, and this server's cool.
Everybody around here is cool because we're all like-minded, and we realise that we might say things that we disagree with, but we'll talk it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is a good thing about it. We don't.
Go on, sorry.
No, go on, please.
All I was going to say is that all we get from people on other servers is that all you talk about is level is horizontal. Level is horizontal. Yeah, it's on the level, but they don't seem to get that it's the geometric principles behind level being horizontal. And it's really easy to understand. That's the way I view it anyway.
Maybe you find it.
Yeah, advanced simplicity is what we do. Ugh.
we want to get to the answer. Or sorry, I feel like I want to get to the answer, and
the answer to what?
Yeah. The answer's out there, but you need to know where you're going, don't you?
Yeah. You know, and you say you want to find the answer, the big answer, or little individual answers that make up the big answer?
I break it down simply. I want little answers all the time, and then it will actually grow to the big answer.
Yeah, and then you've got to understand the question that you're asking.
Yeah. Where are we?
Big question.
What we? Yes, it is a big question, but if you actually break it down to little questions, it's like, you know, where do we live? What is this place? Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
break it down to little questions like that, and then
it's my little room.
Your couch. Comfy on the couch.
Yeah, watching the TV. Yes.
Now,
got the curtains closed because it's dark.
I know you guys are in here, but Godzilla's saying fix my mic. Has anyone heard a problem on the live YouTube? Because I can't say that I'd ever really listen back to the live ones. So let us know. I can't see what else I can do about my mic other than move in a bit closer, and obviously sometimes I'm walking around.
Is it me because I'm sitting back from the mic?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't sound clear to us, or clear to me anyway. But I don't know how that comes out on the YouTube.
Do I sound alright because I'm sitting back on the couch a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's alright then.
It says I don't know. Like I don't know how it comes through okay on Discord. And I don't know about the YouTube. I'm sorry if it's coming through, but I can't see why it should come through any lower. I don't know. I don't get that because
maybe he could turn up the YouTube.
It's up on the.
No, him, whoever that is, or
it's just
that
me,
person.
Though. I don't know whether it's just me or
I see.
as well.
Sorry. Oh, it's funny you should say that. I think I picked up on that the other day when I was listening to a YouTube video. Yeah, I think you were a bit quiet, Bev.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how to fix it. Sorry, gods. Because it'd have to be something in between here and YouTube, I think.
Why don't you start shouting, Bev?
I could start moving closer to the mic, but like I say,
we'll have to turn you down.
Yeah. I don't want to do
just so that you can hear it. That's the kind of people we are.
I've put it in the GIF. It hit the GIF thing.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't have this.
Favourites, top left.
See, I don't know about this.
No. On that thing there. There you go. Favourites. See that that one? And then it'd be the last one I've just.
Yes. Gotcha.
There you go. Jimmy Boy says I sound fine. So thanks, Jimmy. He's talking about.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Who is it? Who did that song?
Jimmy now.
No. This is Planet.
David Bowie.
Who did that?
Duran. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Cool.
How's it go?
No,
I don't know. I'm not thinking.
This isn't karaoke night.
There you go.
Where's Redmond?
So yeah, we're still after a name for the. I think.
Yeah, I guess
it's a horizontal. It's got to be. That is. Because it's showing you the point at which the horizontal and the vertical are perpendicular. That is a horizontal.
Hold on, let's have a little look. Give me a few minutes for this, will you?
An
If you could.
aquanautical
Yeah.
horizontal.
How about a perpendicular?
That'd be the bottom bit. Yeah, each part would have to have an individual name.
Yeah. Well, there's a level, a water level, and a plumb perpendicular, isn't there? Level, straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Water level, horizontal. Vertical.
Perpendicular.
Yeah.
How perpendicular?
And it was really good fun to make.
But that came about.
Horizontal.
A what?
No, that's fine. No, that's right.
Horizontal. Yeah.
Or a pentacle?
We've got a horizontal and we've got a
Yeah, you got-
Well, I can't remember.
A vertical.
A vertical. That was it. Yeah.
That's so vertical, dude.
Yeah, but the vertical isn't there now.
Yeah, it is. Both of them. Vertical and
Yep.
horizontal. I like that. That's a nice.
Oh, shortened. It's a hover.
No.
The horizontal, I think, is the best.
Yeah. Wrecked by hover.
But that is that's the water level test. That's our water level test, isn't it? Because I know when we did it, we did the 100 meter bits, but when we go do it again and there's 3 or 4 of us, then there is only need for us to have the center 200. So we just have that 400 meters separate with a 200 meter one in the middle, and join them all up.
Yeah, once you've demonstrated the
Centre to
principle
end.
of the straight line segment,
Yeah.
you don't have to keep demonstrating that principle for it to hold true. No. The principle of the straight line segment is demonstrated, so don't have to do it every time you do the test. You can have the 200 meters in the center just to establish that it is there. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular.
I'm gonna have to put a bit more work into the imaginometry page.
We're gonna have to do like a haze diagram of this as well, and just like an exploded diagram labelling all the different bits.
Yeah. This all of this stuff's gonna need a page on the website, isn't it?
Yeah, Mobius, my graphics feel inferior.
Yeah.
I bow to your superiority. That's a really cool illustration.
Shrink it down, put it all the way along that straight edge. It's a good way to show our straight edge and the X and Y axis.
Hang
isn't
on,
it?
where's a GIF?
Favourites. And then
I want that one. Here, Mobius. Would you be able to do something like that with it?
for LIGO for the X and Y axis.
Yeah, and then you could put a 90 degree in it somewhere. Just playing with ideas, that's all.
Sorry, I was
Sorry?
That's all right. I'm busy doing something. I wasn't able to talk. What was that?
You see, the GIF that I've posted underneath your 3D rendering.
But just now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you be able to do something like that in the 3 dimensions?
Yeah, that's originally what I wanted to do, was take that and do that on 3 arms of a triangle in a 3-dimensional space to see all 3 arms at the same time, but expanding out from one single, version of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, I was testing that GIF or that whatever, that model. That's basically just testing, how I want to mess around with it. That's just basic.
Yeah. Man, that's
it's
really
working
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean, it took me like 3 days to really understand what it was that Bev had the idea of, but I think once it was visualized, it's just kind of grown, isn't it?
Yeah. And what you've got there as well, if you try and get it so you are sharing those straight lines as well, because you've got it over like extending out to the full arch with the, if you put the one in between, then you are sharing.
Right.
It's dropping one off.
Yeah. Just drop it off on
Yeah,
the
it shows
yeah.
the radius, it shows the diameter, it shows the circle.
Yeah.
And how, the straight line that's needed for a radius.
Yeah. You see how our one, right?
Can be a shared line segment with
the ends of the water levels are really fixed. Right? But with Mobius's, they kind of, it grows.
Yeah.
The water level's growing. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. That's a really cool animation, Mobius.
Right on, thanks.
The surveyor's manuals for anyone. It's under all the tools and everything used would be under section 33. So you would have to, I bet it's law that you have to mention something about the model. The fact that we keep going on about level is horizontal is provable easily. Simple geometry shows that it is definitely provable. So what different books say about things is I don't know. That's what Joe says down the road. Level curves. I mean, it's nobody's ever proved it. Nobody's ever claimed it, as far as I know. Have you ever found a surveyor to say level curves? Nice for you to say that the books say it, but no surveyor would. It's ridiculous. Level is provably a straight line on a horizontal
set within
a horizontal plane.
Yeah, Brad, the science guy, if you're listening, it's no longer on, it's set within a horizontal. A straight line is set within a horizontal plane.
How about a curvizontal?
Yeah, we got bendizontal. Yeah, it's been...
Oh, you have the bendizontal, yeah.
And that is only one thing, isn't it? You can only have one bendizontal.
Law of non-contradiction.
Although, to say that, having said that, though, the curvizontal, bendizontal, it would have to have different radiuses, wouldn't it? Depending on...
Yeah, it would have
yeah, it's true. One curves and one bends. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And you'd still need a straight line to set that radius. So. Sorry, guys.
So you mean you can't have a radius of a square?
Some claim.
Yeah. It has been claimed.
Uh-huh.
Does anybody want to give out a shout out at this point, or should we leave it to people's detective skills as to who that was? But they know who they were.
Any baller that would literally make shit up.
It looks like Jaren. I don't know why. That's sort of.
What was the guy's name that was Kev? Kev, right?
Yeah.
You remember what he said tonight, guys?
He said the hump. He brought the hump back.
He brought the hump back, but when you turn to your left,
Yeah.
you have a drop.
Where'd your hump go?
Yeah, you have to look down to see the hump, I think he said.
And up to see the drop. I'm sure he said up to see the drop. That was another mind-boggling. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you can't put a water level in their hands in that paradox situation.
It's fun just to listen what they're gonna say. Like Terry brought us the third observer. Remember last time?
I don't think I was around for that.
Yeah. That's what he sort of, in his picture, showed you. The hump looking from the side.
From the side, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where the
He
third
said-
person comes in, isn't it? Because they can't imagine it on their own. Yeah.
That's where the mind does a.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's put a third person there because it's not computing. Does not compute. Smoke's coming out.
Back to the computer analogy, I see. Does not compute. That's the difference in the logic.
So that was a third observer, and tonight he said, when you look at two boats, when you look at each other, there's a hump, but when you look to your left, there's a drop. It's like, my God, man.
Yeah, see, that's the boat and the distance between them is imaginable as some sort of an optical thing. That's why I think us finding the canal and being able to use the canal as an example is the deciding factor, right? Because once you're at one locks at one end of the canal and you're at the other locks at the other end of the canal, then there's land all the way in between you. It's a trough of water. So it's much more easy to imagine that as a static body. Because you can't have the hump as that. Like you can't have the canal dropping from each end and then have a hump in the middle.
Unless you're blue and you bet 10,000 on it.
You can put the water level there alongside the canal. If you put everybody in water, there's an added dimension where you can't use the land. Right? You can't effectively use all of the tools for the surveying. So you can establish a horizontal on land with the canal as the example, but I don't think it's as easy to play with the boat paradox. Right? It's a good one to give them the example of it, but the hardcore ballers are always going to go to the optics and what you see.
If you had a water level, then who is actually going to be on top? Because on their model, right, the person or a person was always going to be on top of the ball, aren't they? So you've got person A, person B on top, then you've got the water level in the middle. So who the friggin' hell is on top all the time?
Both of them.
All three of
Their
them.
brain.
Yeah.
You've got the water level in the
They've all got their
You've got the
own.
water level in the middle as well, haven't you? So therefore, the water level is going to be on the top as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget, they've all got their own personal little level going
That's
on.
what Bob the liar guy said.
Yeah.
That everyone has their own top of the ball. You all have your own top of the ball.
And you all
Yeah, that's how they see it.
You all carry around your own personal horizontal.
Yeah, you can all have your own medal.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
we're all equal now, and you can have your
Nobody
own
wins,
ideas
nobody
on what
loses.
level is.
Yeah.
Ah, Bev, you just said it. They're all equal.
Yeah.
So if they're all equal, they're all on a plane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you just got to imagine it's curving. It can't be curved. I mean, logic states that the curve's impossible. So what?
No, you just said that they're all equal, so therefore they've always got to be in a plane because nobody can be on a curve higher than anybody else.
Yeah. All
They
imagine.
shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Logic.
Y'all sound like
brilliant.
y'all bringing logic into the biblical stuff, though. The great I am, the Most High, right?
Yeah.
It's all related somehow.
Yeah, like I say, I think the logic and the geometry teaches you that there are some things you cannot know. Now, if you know there are some things you cannot know, then surely if you pretend that you do know them, then you can have power over the people that you know cannot know it. Right, wrap that up in some sort of an education system, and then you've got a load of people that have been taught that they can do things that people that know are impossible. And
You can do the reverse or adverse of that too. When you have people that know that there's unknowns, and people that are claiming they know everything, the person who knows there's unknowns and they're going to know that person is full of crap.
Absolutely.
Like, you can't know everything, right? Yeah, logos.
Hey, Bev, I don't mean to change the subject or anything, but I'm having a little bit of not really a debate with WS. And he said that you and Cleary mocked people for using the little e in Earth versus the big E Earth.
We mock people.
Mock people? No, we just point out that there is a difference.
Yeah. The big E's the one that people worship, right? I mean, I wouldn't say I mock people for it, but
right. No, these were his words, so I just want to clear it up because I think his position was backwards. He was saying that you mock people that use little E Earth instead of big E Earth. That's a direct quote.
Oh, absolutely not. No. Little E Earth is just the ground, right? The stuff you plant crops in.
Yeah.
The stuff that's underneath us.
Why would anybody mock anybody for using the correct term of the word?
Yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. I told him I would ask you right now because we're in the call, and I said he's welcome to come over and ask him himself, but
he won't. He won't.
He won't.
I'll put that invite out as well. WS, yes, you are welcome to come and talk about logic, geometry, all of that stuff. Just come on over and have a chat.
Little E, big E.
Yeah, little E, big E.
Yeah.
There's a start of 10, isn't it? Come and chat about.
I guess he is listening, or he was listening. He's also saying there is no paradox, which
wow, yeah.
Like I told him, I don't think that he's really understanding the argument, but
yeah, it's quite obviously, definitely a paradox, right?
Yeah.
You can't have something that is a drop also being a hump at the same time.
Well, it's like that guy earlier saying you got to look up to look down.
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Yeah. I'll have to go now.
Yeah. Oh, did I just say
Please
that?
tell me you recorded that.
Mom's calling.
Hey, we're going out
I
live,
think it was
so
on the
this
live.
will be a
Yeah.
live recording.
Oh, true. Right. Yeah.
Well, it does
Yeah,
only say
I
it's
think
been
one of
live
the
for 40 minutes. Is that how long we've been? I thought we've been going for longer than that.
I don't know.
What does that say?
I haven't been in the YouTube at all. Sorry.
Yeah, this started between WS and I because he was saying that you know, about Earth. You know, if you want to know about Earth, take measurements yourself. How come nobody takes measurements themselves? You know, blah blah blah. I said, well, what method would you use to measure Earth? And he said EQ mounts, and then he went on this whole long spiel about how EQ mounts this and that.
For measurements?
Yeah, and I said EQ mounts don't take measurements. They don't. And he wants to compare the dials on the axes of the EQ mount to represent, I don't know, Earth somehow with that. I can't really, make that leap of logic with him. So I keep asking him to explain it, and then Left Lane got in on it. B-Ball got in on it. They're all saying the same thing, but I'm not making the connection. Yeah.
Oh, what a joke. What a joke.
But I figure since they're all probably listening anyway, might as well mention it.
What are key mounts?
EQ mount. It's a equatorial mount for a telescope.
Yeah. I was wondering exactly the same thing, Mobius, and it took me a while to get around your pronunciation. It's EQ. Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, my apologies.
It's the DQ mount where you go and you have an ice cream.
And a sandwich.
Yeah, I think we call it lickety split over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I never really got into that EQ mount argument, but again, they're just looking at lights in the sky. It's a distraction argument, which that's what WS is known for.
Well, like Left Lane summed it up with one sentence. He said, after the sun goes away, point the EQ mount where you think it'll be. And I said, what do you mean where I think what'll be? Where I think it'll be. Like,
that's
so I have to
Red's
imagine.
rhetoric argument, bro.
Isn't it a Ruhif prediction thing? Right?
No, wasn't it Red that brought that out like 3-4 years ago? The EQ mount, that's all they were saying for days, weeks, months.
Yeah, because they think
Yeah,
it's
so
hard for
WS
us to explain it.
Yeah, WS keeps on referring to, I think it's a Fight the Flat Earth video.
Yeah.
About the EQ mounts or something. That's what he keeps on
that,
referring to.
That is Reds and Wolfie that have done that. All of
that
the
whole
Astro
crew, right?
guys. But yeah, he's going to the prediction, right? They predict there's going to be a light in the sky over there. So if you can get the EQ mount to point at it, then that somehow means that their prediction was true. Their prediction was based on a model, so therefore the model must be true.
Yeah, it's all backwards.
Yeah.
I just figured since it's logic night, those are some logical conundrums that they don't seem to be getting past.
They're
So,
scared. They won't get in here for logic at all.
how can you? When they get given they get given logical paradoxes. How can you get around that?
Yeah, really. It seems like they're just doomed to text chat now.
Well, I mean, we did predict it. Like, it's not. I personally am. We've been in this for 2 years. We haven't been in it trying to convince anybody of anything. I've just been studying people. I've also been, I guess, training myself to be able to be a public speaker. I've learned that there are certain people within this argument that are just there to annoy, stall, stop you from going forwards. And me personally, I'm done with them. I can't be bothered. We've got a good enough team around us for us to carry on doing what we do and start developing some sort of a structure and stuff for us to go forwards with. I think it's going to be based around the logic.
That has to be, I think.
And we're only small channel and never asked to be a big channel. So we'll just go forward with what we do. Hopefully we get more people to come in and have a chat. I mean, there's not going to be any trolls, as you've seen. There's they don't want to come in here. They'll come in, maybe come in the chat, a couple of them. We don't have trolls, and you won't be say run around with silly arguments or whatever. Come on in. We're going to be doing some more tests soon. Hopefully we can get out this weekend and do another optic one. Making a few videos, put up a few logical videos out. Be going over the arguments and how people obfuscate within arguments.
Are you going back up to Blackpool?
No, I'm not going to be going Blackpool, but since DP's down here again, we might be able to get out this weekend.
Go anywhere, can we?
And do an optic one. I want to try and show a linear perspective within the auto level. I've got a little video ready to go out.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Can you please explain it to me? Because a lot of the words you say I don't understand. So.
Well, hopefully, I mean, again, that's something we'll be going over in turn very soon, because it's all based around triangles, the stuff that people aren't meant to understand. So yeah, we start off from the beginning. So the linear relationship of the things will become. It's hard work to just explain it and talk about it, because I've not got anything that I can show you. Right? Well,
right.
Sort of. But to get
really.
the video properly done,
Really
we need to aim at it and make the video. So if we go live at the weekend, we'll take the auto level out, we'll get the camera on it, we'll maybe have a go at trying to show whether we can show a 2-peg test.
Yeah.
But it
kind of depends on the weather. It depends what the weather's like.
Yeah.
And there's a few kind of different factors involved, so
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
So hopefully, if all goes well this weekend, we'll be going out and doing a live demo of possibly a 2-peg test and some sort of linear perspective thing that I want to set up. Where we do it, if we manage to do it, I don't know.
Who knows?
It's no rush. It's the winter time. This is where all of the tests stop, apart from Slice Arcane. This needs shitty weather. Bending water level test. Slice Arcane, out he comes.
Yeah, get out in the rain, Sly.
Over to you, Slice Arcane. And I'm serious again. Slice Arcane wants to bring his bending water level test, and we can put our water level test, straight line, segment test. We've got graphics done now. We've got all of that, haven't we? I mean, we're going to see how much money he brought in when he did his GoFundMe crowd-funded Razor Spectacular.
And how much money did you raise, Bev? Absolutely didn't think. Correct.
I did it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With a little help from some friends.
Yeah. Sponsored by things, yeah. But it was mainly Spot On coming down that gave us the chance to actually do our test. We'd all got our own things together, and then it was Spot On that actually came down for us to do it, that gave us the chance to actually get it done. But I mean, that's... People say that, you know, the tests, like, why didn't you record it and why didn't you do whatever you... Well, the truth is, the first time we were doing it, we were doing it live, and it was done, all of it was done live. But the video wasn't that good because we were away, and
there was connection issues.
Connection issues,
you know,
at the side of thing, and it was only for me and Spot On.
It was growing pains, you
Yeah.
know. You can't go out and expect it to all happen on the first go. There needs to be, you need to go out and practice and find out what needs to get better. And, you know, Bev's got a new phone, sorted out the connection problem.
I think the canal one's going to be hard to do again, but we'll do it somewhere else. We do it at different places.
There's a flat spot in reception, it seems to be,
Yeah.
isn't it? So yeah. It's
I
nice
watched
idea.
it when you went down the canal. I watched that live.
Which one?
When you was down the canal, I watched that live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only the people here that were really interested that were there, you know. And there was an open invitation. The people that were interested showed up. That's what we wanted. You know?
I couldn't come down because my car was still in the shop.
Yeah, we do Bedford. Are you talking about the Bedford one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, we do all of that all the time. Do anything like that.
What else would you do after spending a year and a half locked up?
I was never locked up. I was always frigging working, so 24-hour shifts.
Yeah. Well, let's not go down that.
No.
Not here. Not now.
Buster's been taking pictures, because that... Oh, yeah, it is moving a bit. It is really weird, some of these lines.
Yeah.
Look at the shape of some of them. Some of them are dead straight, some of them are curved.
Yeah, but that could be affects atmosphere as it's drifting past different density layers, affects, you know. Again, it's going into optics, isn't it? Optics is giving you a visual effect of something that's actually happening somewhere. You know, how can you define what's happening through an actual image of stars that you might take? You know, something that you can see that you've taken. Optics plays games with your head. No idea. Quarter
to
12.
midnight. How long have we been going? We started about 9 o'clock. Yeah.
No, was it?
Yeah, started at 9.
Yeah.
3 hours, that's pretty good.
Yeah, cool. Nice one, Kevin. Again, shout out, Kevin.
Anyone got any final whatever, and we'll...
Any final whatever, and... Yeah.
Final
I've just
words. I think I'll try
I've
and
got a final
structure
thought.
something a bit better next time.
I've got a final thought.
Go on in.
When we was on a different channel, when we was talking about logic, it ended up with a bit of a shit show because there was people coming in trying to disturb the conversation and trying to steer away from the logic.
Yeah, but we know.
Now then people aren't allowed in, then we can actually concentrate on the logic and get to the point.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but we knew it was going to happen. You know, it happens everywhere. So we knew it wouldn't be any different right from the off. We knew it wouldn't be any different. You know, and why should we waste time in there? It's pointless. You know.
Yeah, because all they're doing is circle jerking and talking absolute bollocks, and they don't even want to talk about logic. They want to talk about other crap.
No, they can't.
So,
they can't talk about the logic. It's what they won't. They've got a binary system.
Yeah, the logic destroys that model. There's not much you can do about that. So they rather not talk about the logic than lose the model. Yeah.
The trolls run from the logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and they...
What?
The only way to do it is to put you into some sort of obfuscation loop that's too much.
They run from the logic and hide in the optics.
Yeah.
And, you know, optics is so deceiving. You can't see what's going on in the optics. And yet they won't refuse to properly talk about geometry. It's quite sad, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to realise that we are talking about a specialist group of people that most of us talk to. Now, I don't know whether we can actually ever get out of this group or whether there will be people following us around. But, I mean, I'd like to be able to have conversations with normal people to see whether we can actually, where we can take this without somebody trying to loop us back to something that none of us think is real.
And at the end of the day, Discord is the battleground of a shit show. And you got to fight the fight, haven't you? It's so easy, and yet they refuse to see it.
I don't think you'll be able to get away with from it, because I've posted some on some channels like Neil deGrasse Tyson and this other astronomer. Forgot what his name was. Anyways, and you see they'll post on their channel. It's like they're following you around.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether what we've got on this one at the minute, this live stream.
And I'm talking about somebody we know. I forgot who it was.
We got the dreaded thing, or is it? Have we lost it? The tag. Let's have a look. Hey, comments turned off. Thanks, guys.
You got that PNG of you holding the staff?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like I turned my comments off because I realised that just stopping talking about the model and stopping using model enabling words to try and not trigger people in conversations wasn't good enough to get rid of the tag. So I've turned the comments off. And that has stopped people from commenting about the model and the model afflicted people being able to trigger. Stopping using. So that's we've lost the tag now, so that's hopefully one step away from the FE ridiculous argument. We just deal with reality and logic. If people model afflicted want to come in and argue with us about their models, then that's fair enough. But there are like a few things.
Chris Impey. I know some astrophysicists, and man, they're all the same, man. They have the biggest ego you will ever imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have a chat with someone like that about a water level in our test.
So when you get that PhD, something just doesn't matter. You're the smartest. You're the best. No one else can touch you.
Oh yeah, if you talk to PhD Tony, you heard him.
Yeah,
He's
that guy
the most cleverest glober there is. He even said.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
mind games he played, didn't he? He
Yeah,
represented
his country multiple times at
in
mind games.
Yeah, nice one, Tony. Oh, sports, maybe. Mind sports.
No, mind games.
Was it games?
Mind games. Maybe mind sports. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's also a self-proclaimed dick, right?
Yeah. Do you think that's
he's an
Dungeons
asshole.
and Dragons? Do you think that's is that a mind sport game? I think it might be. You know?
Flat that.
No, I think we asked him. It's that Go, isn't it?
No, I
The
can't
one with the
remember.
black and white
I just
counter
got
things.
so bored with him. No. You don't understand, babe. No. What? Shut up, you silly man.
Maybe we can trigger him to get in here one of these days.
No, PhD Tony's not coming back. He's gone on the list. Sorry, Mike. Go on.
Yeah, he's never coming back.
I don't think many of them are coming back. I mean, we know George has passed the charge on to Rumpus, and Rumpus is too scared to come round because he knows the questions he's going to get asked about his test and what he thinks he's going to be able to prove, and the fact that he's never done anything that he claims he's doing.
How about Ranty? Will Ranty come around?
Ranty won't come around either. He's bottled it. Ranty's never going up Winter Hill. they might get a picture from somebody. Ruhif's gonna hide from his optic thing, making little videos talking about us. That's what I mean. That's what they might do now. They might come and clip all of these bits. They might be listening now. They might clip all of these bits, and then they can make little videos about things that they see that we're doing. Well, I'm gonna put my logic videos out. Feel free to have a go at debunking them.
Debunk logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
All you need is spherical triangles. That's it. Defying logic.
Learn to debunk it with that bendy horizontals.
Yeah, you've only got to prove that horizontals intersect and water curves to get around them, and that's all you've got to do.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
We're getting more people in watching. It must be a bit later. Maybe a better time for this, like later on. You missed all the good stuff. We're all done. We're just wrapping it up. Try next time.
Yeah, we could kill the live stream and just go back to chit-chatting and not feeling self-conscious about being on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Let me put the thing out. I'll put the link out, and then anybody wants to come round, just come in the chat, come and have a chat.
Yeah.
No pressure, no nothing, just chit chat with the
Where's
guys.
all the kids at? You know, all the school children.
All right. Okay. So, Logic Night next week. Maybe not Tuesday. Maybe a better night for everyone. Maybe do something during the weekend or something. Maybe do a weekly roundup and some logic and shit. Yeah. Maybe that might be better weekend show. See what everybody thinks.
Yeah, just whenever we're together and we feel like doing it, you know.
Pop into next level.
Maybe have a little Buster Jam during one of them.
Yeah. So I'm shutting this off.
Yeah.